What's poppin', ladies and gentlemen? Darhkseid here, and I'm back with another Undisputed video. No longer esbc. Gotta remind myself, Undisputed video. And today we're going to be reacting to, looks like we have one full round of gameplay, which is absolutely crazy. Unedited round of gameplay. Excuse me, one full round of unedited gameplay. And I'm here to react to it, so let's get right into it. Without further ado, let's hit this play button.
What is going on, fight fans? This is Edward.
W. Hey, it's so weird hearing Fanatico. It's with the same intro as it is to his regular videos. It's so funny. Super W. Fanatico took this over. It's all his project.
From Steel City Interactive, and today we're going to give you one full unedited round in Undisputed. I will be on the left using Nigel Benn versus
hold on. Okay, Nigel Benn's model just looks so good. So good. The Dark Destroyer versus Carl Froch. Oh, man. I'm interested. Let me stop. I don't want to pause too much throughout this video.
I immediately test my opponent's.
Oh, man. Okay, I like the camera angle. First, I don't want to pause too much, but I just can't help myself. I love the camera angle. Nice and zoomed out. You can see the whole ring. I like this angle. I like this. I gotta see some more of it, but I'm liking it. I'm liking it right now. You can see the whole ring. Man, this looks good. It looks good. Ropes are popping. Background's kind of dreary, kind of like dried out, like old like brick house type of place.
Aggression by going to the center of the ring, then backing up to see how.
Okay, here's what I'm gonna do. Cause I don't want to keep pausing too much. I'm gonna let it run through the first time without saying too much. Cause I want to hear it. Cause Fanatico's talking through it, so I want to hear what he says. And then the second time I go through, I'll stop and pause it a little bit more. But this first time I'm gonna let it play through most.
How far forward they will push and how many punches they'll be throwing. I notice my opponent is incredibly aggressive. So I'm throwing a lot of punches to the body and to the head to try to slow him down. I can see that he blew his stamina immediately. I can tell with the stamina bar depletion as well as his animation. I throw a few feints to further test his aggression, and I can see that he is still overly aggressive. Feints in this game can be used by using the block button to cancel your punch. I'm also being mindful with the Philly shell. I'm trying to make sure I'm reading my opponent's punch rhythm and flow to make sure I cover each pocket. The Philly shell can be an effective tool as it blocks both the head and the body simultaneously. However, it leaves some pockets open. I then go into loose footwork and switch to the southpaw stance so I can give my opponent a different look, not only in switching to southpaw, but also changing up my tempo. One unique thing about this game when Orthodox is fighting a southpaw is that you can actually have a lead foot battle. Because the game doesn't force you to be in a straight line, you can actually move your character within a radius while being in front of your opponent. This allows you to be positioned either on the inside of your opponent.
I got lots of thoughts, but I'm going to get to it in just a second. Let me just it's only like a minute and a half left. Let me just let this video finish. I got some thoughts.
Depending on where you move your fighter. Unfortunately, however, I was losing that lead foot battle to my opponent. I'm consistently paying attention to my opponent's punch rhythm, which is allowing me to catch a lot of his punches on my glove, shoulders, and arms when doing the Philly shell. I'm also ensuring to switch to full guard while using the head movement and the weave modifier to cover any pockets, or if I notice that my opponent is on a broken rhythm.
Look at that stamina.
I'm attacking my opponent while immediately returning back to the Philly shell. And I finish it with a step back straight right counter as my opponent continues his aggression. The directional punch mechanic not only allows you to change your punches, but it also helps you escape your opponent's attack at the same time. At this point, I'm starting to notice a massive decrease in my opponent's output, and now I feel more confident to be even more aggressive than before.
Oh yeah, round two.
I ended with a powerful sequence, which is a hard counter to the body, which doubles up to the head, and a right hook to the head to end the round. That was one full round of boxing in Undisputed. I hope you guys enjoyed that. And of course, there's going to be more to come just like.
All right, there we go. Thank you, Fanatico, for that video. Thank you very much. Good work on the video. Good work as always. W. It's always a W seeing someone from the content creator spot get into a spot like Fanatico has. It's W. I love to see it. You really do love to see it. All right, so let's go back through this and talk about this, because I saw a lot of things that I liked. Some things I still think needs a little bit of improvement, but I saw a lot of things that I liked. So, of course, we know the models are going to look great. We don't really have any graphical, like, I don't think anybody really has, like, graphical complaints with the game. We all think it looks, like, freaking amazing for the most part. All right, but what I did notice, now, if you listen to how Fanatico was talking about the gameplay as he's progressing through it, he's hitting on a key. That's why if you kept hearing me say Fanatico knows, this is why I was saying that, because if you hear him talk about the gameplay, he's hitting on one key thing that people have always had a problem with in fighting games overall, but mostly combat sports games, the stamina management. And you can hear it from the way he was explaining it, because he's a player himself, so that's why I'm saying he knows, because he plays the games. He knows what it's like when you're facing somebody, and you feel like the game doesn't reward you for managing your own stamina, but the opponent can just have crazy output. He knows what he's saying. He knows what he's doing. He's he's taking an aggressive opponent who's being overly aggressive, and he's just making him making him chase him, making him work, so he could drain his stamina while he's managing his own stamina. That's why you see when he's talking about, he notices how overly aggressive his opponent's being. He changed up his game plan. Now he's moving around, making his opponent come chase him. And you gradually see the decrease on Carl Froch's bar. Like right now, we're at the 19-second mark. It's 2:55 in round 2. Let's just go about like right here. And look how far the bar has decreased. 1 minute and 12 seconds still in round 2. And look at the end of round 2. Look where the bar is at. Look how far that's decreased. And look at Fanatico's stamina. And this is round 2. This is round 2. Oh my lord, I already love that. That alone makes me love this. That alone, you have to be smart and pick your shots. You can't just go blow your load early like that. Oh yes, please sign me up.
How many
let's go ahead. I'm gonna let it go through, and we're gonna talk about it a little bit.
Punches they'll be throwing. I noticed my opponent is incredibly aggressive, so I'm throwing a lot of punches to the body and to the head to try to slow him down.
Yep, he's doing that also while moving around, making his opponent come chase him and throw more punches. And he won't. You notice a lot of people make this error in certain games where they just back up to make you chase them, but I find it more effective when you're trying to get somebody to gas themselves out. You want to get into their range where they feel like you're going to engage, but you don't really throw a lot, and they end up throwing a lot more than you. That's another easy way to gas them out.
I can see that he blew his stamina immediately. I can tell with the stamina bar depletion as well as his animation.
See, this is the good thing about having someone who plays the game and has been playing multiple different games on the team itself too, because he knows, as a person who's played boxing games a lot, he knows these things, so he knows what to look for in certain things like that. He knows how to break it down very well as well. That's why it was a W.
I throw a few feints to further test his aggression, and I can see that he is still overly aggressive. Feints in this game can be used by using the block button to cancel your punch. I'm also being mindful with the Philly shell. I'm trying to make sure I'm reading my opponent's.
Look at where his stamina is right now. Look how low it is right now. Look how low this is right now. Now, if Fanatico is like more aggressive in this spot right here, I'm sure this would do increased damage. I assume it would do some type of increased damage, or at least damage the stamina recovery of like the long-term stamina even more. Look how much he's bottoming out his stam over and over again.
Punch rhythm and flow to make sure I cover each pocket.
And there you saw the loose movement modifier and also the stance switch.
Philly shell can be an effective tool as it blocks both the head and the body.
It kind of looked like, did he like chain it together? That's what it kind of looked like.
My opponent's
I don't know if he switched first, then went to, let me see if I can
punch rhythm and flow to make sure I cover each pocket.
Okay, so it looked like he almost did it simultaneously, almost.
To make sure I cover each pocket. The Philly shell
maybe he just switched stances.
To make sure I cover each
pocket. Maybe he just switched. Yeah, I think maybe he just switched stances.
Can be an effective
it looked almost like it was simultaneous, like switch stance with the
body
loose
simultaneously.
Lord. And the punches definitely have improved yet again. Like, that's the first thing when I saw the punches being thrown. You could definitely tell punches have been improved. I like the work that's going in right now, man. I like the work that's going in. I would have preferred them have dropped something like this when they announced the change of the name, This is exactly what I was talking about in that video, where I was like, show some games, some new gameplay, so the people who see the name change, you know, can still be acquainted with the game and understand it's still the same game. For those who, you know, might have their skepticism and things like that, but this is early enough where I think that's still, it's early enough in the change where it's still a good idea and a W move, in my opinion. They didn't wait a month after they changed the name. It came pretty rapid, so I applaud them for that.
As it blocks both the head and the body simultaneously.
Punch out, man. That jab. That has some pop on it.
Blocks both the head and the body simultaneously.
Yeah, I like that. That got some pop. Hey, I like that. Okay.
As it blocks both the head and the body simultaneously.
Yeah,
However, it leaves some pockets open. I then go into loose footwork and switch to the southpaw
I'm gonna do a deeper breakdown of all this when I go and do my breakdown video, because I really got to look through this a lot of times.
Give my opponent a
I'm just giving like my base
reaction
reactions
to
I see so far.
but also changing up my tempo. One unique thing about this game when Orthodox is fighting a southpaw is that you can actually have a
so you got super aggressive
because the game doesn't force you to be in a straight line. You can actually
I like that too, the footwork battle
within a rate,
especially in the open stance how he is right now,
while being in front of your opponent. This allows you to be positioned either on the inside of your opponent or the outside.
He didn't like the look he was getting. See, that's exactly. Didn't like the look he was getting from open stance. Went back to orthodox, but it wasn't just because he felt like switching back. There was a reasoning behind it, and he mentions that.
Unfortunately, however, I was losing that.
He was losing the battle. See, there was a reason. Because there's actually a reason for you to switch. There's actually a reason for you to switch. It's not just because you felt like switching. It gives you a reason to.
Catch a lot of his punches.
I like that. I like a lot of the things I'm seeing. I like a lot of things I'm hearing.
I'm also ensuring to switch to full guard while using the head movement and the weave modifier to cover any pockets, or if I notice that my opponent is.
Well, I like how he shot. Oh, did you see how he shot that straight? He actually like cocked it and shot it.
Or if I notice that my opponent is on any pockets, or
from the Philly show. That's from the Philly show. That has to be specifically from this Philly show stance. That's from
the Philly show stance. My opponent.
Yeah, you see how he shoots that?
Or if I notice that my opponent is on a.
He missed, but he shot that like, oh, that looks nice, man. That animation looks nice. Woo, the sidestep.
Rhythm.
Let me see that again. Oh, that looks nasty. Oh yeah, that looks nasty. He's dancing on him. He been putting in that work with that footwork. He getting used to that footwork real nice and dandy. I like how he shoots the straight from the Philly shell.
I'm attacking my opponent while immediately returning back to the Philly shell. And I finish it with a step back straight right
shoots the straight, comes straight back to the Philly shell block.
The directional punch
looks so nice, man. That looks so nice.
To change your punches, but it also
I gotta dive deeper, bro. I'm like a kid in a candy store right now. I want to talk so much, but I don't want to make this video too long because it includes my reaction.
At this
I'll
point,
do like a breakdown type of video, but this looks so good.
In my opponent's output, and now I feel more confident.
And you can see how the punches get like caught on his shoulder when they're in too close and they're throwing certain punches. Like if Fanatico throws a straight punch and Froch throws like a hook, how it like clips up if they get too close. I love that.
With a powerful sequence, which is a hard.
The punches just don't disappear like in Fight Night.
Doubles up to the head and a right hook.
Ooh, my lord! Yeah, the punches got some. They got some more pop on them for sure. You can tell. I also want to see something.
The head and a right hook.
One more time for me.
Which doubles up to the head.
DJ, run that back.
Head and a right hook to the head to end the round.
Oh Lord. All right, let me wrap this up. Oh man, I want to talk about this so much. I'm gonna have to do my breakdown after I record this video. But oh my lord. Oh, I want to go back, but I don't want to go back. That's gonna do it for this video, man. I'm gonna wrap it up right here. This is definitely a W in my opinion. Definitely a W. The punches have definitely improved. Fanatico did a good job breaking down what he was going throughout the match. And I felt like it was like one of us. Like not no disrespect to anybody on the dev team, because we know they've obviously played games too. They play boxing games too. But I feel like literally one of us like breaking down the footage, and like that's why it's such an interesting dynamic that Fanatico's on the team now. Because it's like one of us actually playing through and like breaking it down, coming from that competitive type of player aspect. You can definitely tell by like the things he was doing and how he was wording things. Like this is things that we always talk about in the community and things like that. So this is definitely a W in my opinion. Can't wait to see more, but I definitely will be looking at this way more, doing another breakdown for this. And I can't wait, man. This looks so good. I want to get my hands on this game so bad, so bad. I get my hands on this game, but this looks great. I love the improvements of the punches they've done so far.
But also
Definitely think they could pop it up maybe just a little
One
bit
unique thing
more,
about
but that's just being greedy, to be honest with you. I'm not going to lie to you and say I'm not being greedy. I'm definitely being greedy. But I like the pop that it has on the punches. And if you notice, Froch does not have the same pop on his punches. When he's like, if you notice when his stamina dips, you can see how soft the punches look. Like watch when he goes to the, like see those body straights right there? They look extra soft, like Charmin soft. That's because his stamina is completely depleted. Versus when Fanatico pops him, when Froch has low stamina, when Fanatico pops him, when Fanatico has full stamina, everything is crispy.
Than before.
Even the jab was crispy when Fanatico hit him with the jab.
Body,
but especially this combination that hits him with like right here, bang, 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 crispy. You can feel that pop. But I don't want to get back into that, man. I'm going to end the video right here. I promise this time I'm ending the video. Comment what you guys thought about this gameplay in the comment section down below. Make sure to leave a like, comment, subscribe. And I'll catch you guys in the next one. Take it easy.